The following podcast is scheduled for 3 segments with a 90-minute time limit. Approaching the ring, weighing in at 23 subscribers, it is the NWE podcast. We don't always talk about wrestling, but when we do, we hate it. This is the beginning of a special 2-night event. This is episode 14. Night 1, I believe episode 14. But yes, episode 13, night 1. Which is going to be covering Ring of Honor and NXT. I'm your main host, Bullen, accompanied by Jumbo and Beefy.
Thanks, Homicide, for chiming in.
I'm right. If only he was at Ring of Honor, bro.
Yeah, if only a lot of people were there.
There's a lot of people that were there and a lot of people that weren't there.
Well, should we start now? Now is the part. This is the...
Yeah, so this week in wrestling, starting off with Monday, March 26, 2022, we have Monday Night Raw.
Hang on, what do you mean WrestleMania Raw?
WrestleMania Raw, that's right.
Yeah, I wasn't
I don't
actually
think much happened at WrestleMania Raw. Let's see. Roman Reigns cut a good...
Well, I was joking. I wasn't actually going to do this week in wrestling.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was waiting
we talk about WrestleMania SmackDown because some shit happened on WrestleMania SmackDown.
I mean,
this week in wrestling is just like a couple matches that don't necessarily matter to Mania, and then
WrestleMania SmackDown. Roman cut a really good promo, and also Matt Cat Moss is your Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner.
That is true.
On the trophy, he eliminated Finn Balor to win the Rumble on SmackDown. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal no longer is the first match to WrestleMania. It's no longer.
I mean, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal was proven to be a pivotal moment in wrestlers' careers, i.e., they're probably about to get released. So I don't know.
Look at Cesaro.
See what happens with Madcap Moss. Oh yeah, Cesaro, the first winner of it, and did nothing with him.
Yeah.
And Ricochet defended the IC title and retained against
Ricochet,
two guys who are from main event.
Yeah.
Ricochet and Finn Balor, I don't think are at Mania. Lol.
No.
What's
the point of that mid-card belts of Mania? You hear more about that though in the Mania.
Yeah.
Night 2.
What else happened?
Night 2.
Rampage that just happened yesterday because it's April 2nd, Saturday. Right now. So,
Rampage. Yeah, we just got off of watching Stand and Deliver, so.
Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, Will Hobbs lost to Keith Lee. They hit the BBC. And it was over 1, 2, 3, and that's it. That's like the big match everyone was waiting for. It was pretty good.
That's a great reward for standing up for Tony Khan, just continually losing on television.
He was all that guzzling, got him nowhere.
Absolutely.
I mean, he technically did beat him, but the ref was distracted.
Yeah, I guess.
So
sure, a lot of shenanigans happening on the floor with Swerve Strickland, Ricky Starks, and Taz. So see where that goes.
Yeah, he turned around and Keith Lee hit him with the BBC, and he lost.
That sounds crazy out of context, honestly.
No, the BBC is the name of his finish. It's like a attitude adjustment jackhammer, pretty much.
Yeah. Just glad that we clarified that for like the 2 people that listen but don't.
I mean, if you want to look it up at home and you just look that up, that.
Shout out to the 7 people that listen to this who don't know who Keith
My bad.
is.
Look up BBC Wrestling.
Look up BBC Wrestling.
Look up, yeah.
Just look up BBC on Google and you'll find it 100%.
Yeah, you'll see the
from the 70s. Wait a minute.
All right, let's jump right into this. The first match.
Wait, hey, we're hopping a bit early. I mean,
we need to talk about the matches that weren't on Fight. Cabana was out there. CB was out there. Fought him and fucking Shinobi Shadow Squad. Fought Tully Blanchard's new tag team stable.
Which I believe are called Primal Fear. Sound about
Yeah,
right?
Animal Fear, I think, is the name.
These are some fucking big guys, though.
And one looks like fake Roman. I remember that. And one looks like a really white, shitty redneck Uso. Cause they both got like the Samoan tattoos on their shoulders. It looks dumb. It looks shitty.
That's fair.
But let's jump right in
I like
to
how they got super lazy. Like right before the show starts, they show the and normal anti-piracy thing that they normally do. I like how
Oh
lazy
yeah.
they got because it's literally just the normal AEW one, but they removed the AEW logo and just put ROH there.
Oh
Just
yeah.
put like that's not even like it's like the Google like if you look Google ROH logo, it's like that, but not the old one. It's like the 2015 one.
You gotta recycle, man.
True.
Yeah, when it's like the logo they used when they first changed from like the red and black.
Oh god, yeah. Oh
Oh, the
Jesus.
first match was Alex Zane and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Alex Zane came out and he looked like a pirate, and then Swerve came out and he had like feather coat.
When one of them
These
came
guys
out,
are
Yeah.
when one of them came out, someone on commentary, I don't know who the fuck it was, but they were talking about something like, go on Twitter, go do hashtag choose your honor. I was like, what the fuck does this mean?
It might have been Ian Riccaboni. He's a good commentator. He's just plugging shit
Yeah.
so they can get attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Ian Riccaboni and Priest Coleman on commentary, back on commentary for this show, and I'm
They
not gonna lie, I
just-
found them a lot more tolerable than what they were
Oh my god, the fucking
at Final
commentary for the
Battle.
Death Show was awful. Or I mean, not Death Show, Final Battle. We just call it the ROH Death Show.
That's what it
Well,
was.
before it was the Death Show, and now here we are looking at Supercard of Honor to
Like it, like
Return of ROH.
to quick summary, it's like the thing swapped. The commentary got good, but the matches were mid.
Yeah,
Right.
that is true.
And
Compared to the
yeah,
final
it's kind
battle,
of
where the
a
commentary was mid, but the matches were all amazing.
it's a common theme throughout the first half of the show, maybe even first probably 2 quarters of the show, which is still half.
So
And,
weird. There's like no Shane Taylor, no Kenny King. It like
notable
feels so
exceptions
weird.
here. Yeah,
It's like
no
the
Shane
only
Taylor,
like
no
real.
Kenny King,
Yeah, none
no
of that.
Tracy Williams, which was a bit of a shocker.
This
Tracy
is
had been
obviously a
highlighted.
Tony comic book show. He said, "God damn, there's so many black people on this roster." Tell me, it's
Yeah,
got to
no,
go.
we had Shane, Swerve, Strickland, and Alex Zane, as you mentioned, Jumbo, and I don't know. For me, this match just did not
It's underwhelming. They
get
didn't
out of
tell him.
first gear.
For some reason, they didn't tell him to just do flippy shit the whole time to get the crowd pumped.
I mean, WCW had a method when they would run shows where it was, okay, let's get the cruiserweights out there first. So that, okay, we'll do the high spots, whatever else, get the crowd up. And then you give them something a little bit softer on the palate, but
If it was me booking this, it would be like Alex Zane Swerve, then Woods versus Yuda, then fucking like Willow, Mercedes, then Moriarty, then Gresham, then FTR.
No, I mean, I didn't necessarily have a problem with how this card was set out. I mean, they tried to set the card out so that the most important and highly anticipated matches were the ones that were focused on and whatever else. But at the same time, you know, if you're gonna highlight this new era of ROH, you got to start strong. And that match with Shane Strickland and Alex Zane just was not it. I don't think it was that strong.
Yeah, it
start
was
that
just
they
like
needed.
every match, almost every match felt like it went just like 5 minutes longer than it really should have.
You know, I mean, it was a couple notable spots in the match. A reverse runner from the apron to the floor,
That was cool.
which by Alex
Yeah.
Zane.
No, Swerve did this flippy reversal out of a gun wrench suplex, and he like bounced off the ropes and like he was working the leg the whole time. He like drop kicked him in the knee and then went up for like the Swerve stomps. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Swerve put a whole flurry of free moves together using the the swerve stomp and that running jumping sidekick that he used
the phone home or whatever.
at the phone home, and he would use in the Fed, and then finally finishing Alex Zane off with the JML driver, which, I mean, that was probably the one move of the match probably got the biggest pop, was the JML driver. But that whole flurry of moves.
The crowd was decently alive, and then the next match was, I think it was...
Wait, did we even say who won? We just moving on?
Yeah. Swerve wins. Beefy already said it.
Okay.
Yeah, I said Swerve won with the JML driver.
Okay, I just missed that. Yeah, you good?
Yeah, we move on to match number 2, which I'm going to have to check my notes.
My notes got deleted. Long story.
My notes are extremely short.
Yeah, Bullen's notes are extremely
Isn't
vague.
this the Ninja Mack match versus the new client?
Yes. I believe so.
This is the Ninja Mack mystery match.
My last 2 notes are, that's my ninja right there. And then after Ninja Mack makes his entrance, Tully Blanchard comes out and he says, all right.
All right.
I think I'm just going to make this clear. This is the worst match of the night.
Yes,
this
by far.
You guys say that over Willow.
Well, at least with Willow and Mercedes, there wasn't necessarily a whole lot of build or an angle.
I'm just gonna lay it out right now. The reason why this match sucked is because right after Tully Blanchard points and shows his new client is Brian Cage.
So, for context, Ninja Mack was at Bloodsport, GCW Bloodsport, and he put on a hell of a performance. Probably one of the best finishes of a match that I've seen this year. Then he comes out, his gear, he's looking dripped out, and then he just gets buried.
Yeah, basically.
Anytime he tries to do a cool flippy move, Brian Cage just catches him and does a suplex or a clothesline.
I guess this may be an unpopular opinion according to some wrestling fans out there, or just fans of sports entertainment, pro wrestling, whatever you want to call it. But Brian Cage, to me, just seems like he doesn't want to do things that he doesn't want to leave his comfort zone.
No.
And his comfort zone is I'm good at being big and throwing people around.
I'll do forearm strike, lariat, and my finisher and my signature. That's it.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to leave his comfort zone, which, in all fairness, I think that's how you get over as a big man talent nowadays, is when you leave.
Yeah, it's like, oh, guys, I'm like most of a big man. I can do different shit now. So sometimes he does a super kick or a frog splash, but that's barely. When the fucking... every blue moon.
Yeah. And I think, in my opinion, that's probably part of the reason why he was off AEW television for as long as he was, because he wasn't necessarily different. I mean, sure, he's got a great physique and whatever else, but, it just wasn't different. I expected Ninja Mack to get a lot more offense than he was given. I think they kind of robbed him a little bit.
Yeah, he went for the finish was, I think he went for some kind of whisper in the ruin variation, but Brian Cage grabbed him, hit him with this German suplex, hit the drill claw, and then Tully Blanchard Enterprises, which is Primal Fear, Tully Blanchard, and Brian Cage, who I guess now are going to be
Bloodline
ROH guys.
Yeah, Tully and Three Monsters, essentially. Tully's just...
Roman Reigns and Jonathan Uso.
Yes.
You just got to see the picture. You just got to see a picture of him.
Did you say it was the blue line when it happened?
Yeah, the blue line.
Yeah, the blue. I'll tell you what, though. I'm intrigued to see what Tully can do with Primal Fear in particular. I think from watching ROH before Final Battle and seeing Primal Fear, they've definitely got some potential about them. Brian Cage, I don't personally really care about.
I mean, if I can make a prediction, They're probably going to feud with Shane Taylor Promotions, to be honest.
I would like to think that's the case, but I don't know because the Shane Taylor was maybe the most notable exception from this show, which it kind of surprised me that Shane didn't get a spot on the card, but I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future and with ROH.
Shane Taylor versus Brian King is coming to some shitty pay-per-view site near you.
Probably. And now we go to our next matchup. Jay Lethal and Lee Moriarty with Matt Sydal in his corner.
Oh
This
yes,
match-
Matt Sydal. Play a little video package to give Lee Moriarty some, more character. Well, I'm not saying he
Oh,
doesn't have
jeez.
character, but not a lot of people are familiar with him. So that
I feel sorry for Lee
promo
Moriarty
package.
because, I mean, I respect Matt Sydal and what he's done in the industry and whatever else, but if I'm going to have a guy cut promos for me, I don't think I'm picking Matt Sydal. First off.
But Lee Moriarty did talk like a lot more than I expected him to.
He
And
did.
they like I said, not a lot of people are really familiar with him. So they played this. They made this video package to to introduce people to Lee Moriarty, and that was obvious.
Absolutely.
Like said his name, summary
It
of
was
his
well
whole
done.
career. Yeah, they showed match highlights of him and whatnot, and then Jay Lethal. He was not silly in this match at all. He's franchise gimmick Jay Lethal. This guy, this is like Triple H of ROH. Jay Lethal. I'm not like he was not doing any silliness here, like how he does on AEW. He does not. He's not doing any Macho Man. None of that. No,
He
no
was there
Ric
to.
Flair
He's
impression.
there to collect a paycheck. That's it.
Well, yeah, Lethal was all business heading in, and
No
I mean,
bit.
again,
No Macho Man impression. None of that.
good match for Lethal and Moriarty. I mean, you don't really expect much else from the two. It was a good match, but
It was
they
run
just
of the
could
mill.
not.
Yeah.
They could not get the crowd with them. They tried. I'll give them that. They really did try, but they just could not get there.
Sanjay
And-
Dutt was at ringside though. Don't
Yeah,
forget
which was
that.
a big red herring for something major at the end of the night. But I'll tell you what, Jay Lethal, I like that they had Lee Moriarty in this spot because they could have picked anybody to be in the ring with Jay Lethal,
Could have picked anyone.
but to have Lee Moriarty in that spot, I think it's good for Lee. Jay again gets a different style of opponent that he can wrestle against. I mean, Lethal just came off of Dynamite and wrestling John Moxley.
That was an
So-
amazing match.
Absolutely, and it's one of those things too. Where I think Jay definitely had his working shoes on for this with Lee Moriarty, and really wanted to make Lee look good. But end of the match sees Lethal. Lethal's in a precarious position, and referee back has turned, and all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, Lethal low blows Lee Moriarty, which is. If
I
you
think
know
he
the
pays
bill,
his attention to like Sanjay Dutt or something. I don't
it
remember.
was Sanjay or it might have been Sydal acting up on the floor,
It might have been.
and Lethal just low blowing Moriarty. I believe he may have hit him with the lethal injection as well to put the match
Yes,
away.
he hits the lethal injection. The ref is confused why. The ref thinks it's a low blow, but he's not sure yet, so he just counts the pin, and Lee Moriarty takes the loss. Jay Lethal wins.
Referee can't call what he can't see, but maybe I remember on an episode of ROH TV they had the Righteous working with Jay Lethal. Another notable exception. Vincent and the Righteous offered his card, but the Righteous, kind of saying that the old Jay Lethal is still there, and reference to the heel Jay Lethal in the House of Truth, and that was kind of a little glimpse into that old Jay Lethal and the House of Truth.
Definitely. So Jay Lethal wins. I think the crowd wakes back up around this point. They're all confused why Jay Lethal is heel. Matt Sydal comes in the ring to comfort Lee Moriarty, and then he's like, "What the fuck?"
This I appreciate it.
The fucking Lee Moriarty, or not Lee Moriarty, Jay Lethal turns around and kicks the shit out of his crutches, and Matt Sydal falls over. And then he just starts beating the shit out of him. Then Sanjay Dutt comes down to the ring to save Matt Sydal. The crowd is going crazy. And then
They were happy to see Sanjay.
Yeah, and then Lee Moriarty, I think, leaves. He doesn't. Spoiler alert.
Jay leaves.
Jay
leaves.
Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal are together. Or like a tag, I guess. Tag team.
They leave together, and yeah, we'll talk about those details more. But now we move on to the interim ROH Women's Championship, because Deonna Purrazzo was the shoot working up the road for Impact Wrestling. Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Martinez. These two women, they tried.
They tried.
They tried. I feel sorry for Willow, because I keep hearing she's a hell of a talent.
I've seen one good match from her, but anytime she steps through those ROH ropes, hits that code of honor, it's just like some clicks. It's just like she can do it.
No disrespect
and generally,
to them, but this should have not been in the middle of the card.
I think, in my opinion, this is the worst match of the night. Second worst.
Yeah. I think Mercedes as the ring general.
Mercedes tried her hardest to get this fucking crowd into it.
Yeah. Well, you could tell by how they started, the hot start in the beginning, and really trying to focus more on the hard hitting, and more trying to lean towards Mercedes style. But Willow just, I don't think Willow was really wanting to engage and work Mercedes style. Mercedes is a lot more hard hitting than I think most women are in the industry.
She just didn't want to work stiff, really. She just wanted to do, I don't even know.
But speaking of stiff, one point in the match, Willow goes up for a moonsault, nails it, but nails it in all the wrong ways.
All on the ribs.
Yeah.
Was knees into the gut and ribs. Like, just completely undershot it, and you could tell. Because in all honesty, I mean, we've spoken before on the podcast, I believe, about Mercedes Martinez being knocked out cold during her NXT run. But you can't really tell with Mercedes whether she's shoot hurt or not. You could tell after this moonsault that she was hurting, and hurting bad.
Yeah, Willow goes for like a jackknife pin, and it's obvious they wanted to do like, oh, she got her hands on the ropes, but they fucked it up. Ref was looking, he was confused on
3 attempts to get the roll up.
Willow was like trying to get this jackknife right, and Mercedes Martinez didn't know when to put her hand on the rope, and it was awkward. And at this point, the crowd and everyone's on their phones. They're just waiting for Suzuki to come out at this point.
They've got their hand, like they're sitting on their hands. It's just there's no care at all, and you could tell that. And in all honesty, I don't know how much of a difference it would have been if Deonna Purrazzo was there. I got no idea who she would have faced. And maybe it might have been Mercedes who she would have faced, but I got no idea. But
Willow is still just a little bit green.
I think that's part of the problem, and I think a lot of the problem too.
Pull down the straps. That's pretty cool. She has like a bra piece, like a singlet, like a King Kong Bundy singlet, sort of.
Yes.
Over it.
But Mercedes Martinez, she took this match home. I got a feeling they may have gone home maybe a touch early, because Mercedes was completely winded. But Mercedes picks up the win and becomes the interim. This is a mouthful. The interim ROH Women's World Champion. So in the future, we're gonna get her and Deonna Purrazzo, which sounds phenomenal on paper.
Sounds way better than in that match. I might actually watch this.
It sounds way better than this on paper, but I don't know. We'll see. Then we go to. Well, speaking of matches that were better, possibly the best match so far throughout the whole of WrestleMania weekend.
Might be
The
one of the best tag matches of the year.
Oh yeah, easily an early match of the year contender as far as tag team wrestling goes. Maybe even as a whole, because this match was phenomenal. ROH World Tag Team Championships, the Briscoes, 13-time champions, I believe, defending against the top guys, FTR. Yeah, debuting, which it's a rarity that guys who debut in ROH, especially tag teams, get a shot at the tag team titles, but here we are. This match lived up to the hype.
It did.
No doubt about it that it lived up to the hype.
This crowd,
excellent start.
No matter who was playing face or heel, everyone had to fucking high five everybody to wake them up. Hey, we're here. Hey.
The crowd did not give a shit who was the heel, who was the face. They just wanted to see this match.
Yeah, they were just excited for a good match.
I do not blame them. I mean, in all honesty, too, both these teams have done a phenomenal job over social media, really hyping this match up and knowing that it was coming. But we start off with Cash Wheeler and Mark Briscoe, and they go for a little sequence, whatever, feel each other out. Then we get the two main talkers of the teams. The guys were really spitting venom at each other, Dax Harwood and Jay Briscoe.
Jay Briscoe.
Sorry. Wrong Briscoes. Jay Briscoe and Dax Harwood, and that's when the physicality started.
Yeah.
Those two got in there.
FTR came out and beat up the Briscoes in front of their children. This is when they were still heel at the time.
Whole family.
And their whole family was in the front row, and they just busted them open and made them bleed and just beat the dog shit out of them and challenged for the belts. Because they coming for the gold, sucker.
And FTR obviously not walking in empty-handed. Obviously, they have the AAA World Tag Team titles as well, which they have held for
But they put like little FTR stickers over AAA.
That's
funny.
Fucked up.
Yes.
I didn't even notice that.
There's no nameplates on those belts. So they just kind of makeshifted it, which I appreciate.
It blocked out the AAA logo, which is funny.
Yes. But, excellent match. It is really, I'll be honest with you, if you're going to seek out any match and find it, this one is it.
Yeah.
So far for WrestleMania weekend. Really go out and look for this, because there ain't a lot of words we can tell you that can do this justice.
The Briscoes ran through their entire catalog of tag team finishers. Redneck Boogie, I think.
Well, they didn't get the Doomsday Device. That they did not
Doomsday
get.
Device they couldn't hit.
Which ended up being the key to the finish. So during the match, the Briscoes actually hit FTR with the Big Rig, their own move, which led to a false finish. Jay Briscoe getting busted open out on the floor.
They were working stiff this whole night. They
were beating the crap out of each other. They did not care at all. I mean, we had a suplex in the ring out to the floor, and just, I think it was Dax Harwood and Jay Briscoe again. And
Mark was kicking the shit out of a lot of people. He was booting, like anytime Cash Wheeler was in the ring, he just hit him with the meanest big boot he could possibly do.
Oh yeah.
There's a point where Cash Wheeler's on the ropes doing a taunt on the apron, and Mark Briscoe runs all the way up to him and hits a Claymore kind of kick, and Cash Wheeler flies off the apron to the outside.
And so FTR, they hit the Big Rig themselves at the end of the match, countering the Doomsday Device to become the ROH World Tag Team Champions. This could be a first. I don't remember any other teams coming into ROH first time in and immediately winning the belts. I could be wrong on that one, but
I don't think so.
It's a rarity, for sure.
There's a twist. After the match, they put their differences aside and they hug it out. Code of honor. They're friends now. They've made up. But it goes to the back.
Southern tag teams, they're cool now.
But then,
What's the first thing you see that appear behind the Briscoes is Brandon Cutler, and with Brandon Cutler comes the Young Bucks.
Yeah, right before they have to go out and wrestle for Rampage, they make their way to the Super Card of Honor. They teleport their way there, and they super kick the Briscoes because the Young Bucks and the Briscoes have a eternal hatred for each other that I don't know
They do
will
not
ever
like each
go
other.
away.
It is they've hated each other for a while. It's like a thing for a
Family
minute.
tradition almost. But FTR come out to make the save. FTR challenged the Young Bucks right there and then for an ROH World Tag Team title match.
you want to face us
the
right
Bucks-
now?
The Bucks say
and then
no.
Matt Jackson says GFY, tune in to TBS on Wednesday.
Look,
Yeah.
look here, look, listen. You better tune into AEW Dynamite next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Central Time.
TBS.
Then they get on the Matt Jackson gets on the stage and starts thrusting the air and shit.
Absolutely. That was all cock and balls on the screen. But yeah, one tag team dream match part 2.
They might do.
Young Bucks.
Yep. They also might do Briscoes versus the Bucks again at an ROH show.
I love how in kayfabe, this happens on a Friday, right? So these dudes come all the way to this show just to randomly attack these guys, and then they have to wrestle an hour later in a totally different fucking city.
Yeah, just for running.
Showed up.
That's
Brandon
awesome.
Cutler, I don't know. Who's is there as well?
You know, we got FTR and the Young Bucks 2 on AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, and that has been sanctioned for both the AAA Tag Team titles and ROH World Tag Team titles.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I can't pick a winner.
Yeah, whoever wins or not, Young Bucks, Briscoes are happening once again. This eternal hatred cannot be settled.
Yeah. Then we move on again. Another actually decent match, quite a good matchup. ROH television title, Rhett Titus and Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sorry for Rhett because as soon as this match was announced, I think everybody knew the result.
I mean, congratulations to him, Rhett Titus, to walking into the pay-per-view as a champion.
Yeah, congrats to that.
He had a year-long push, and his finisher was the drop kick. I mean, that's an accomplishment in and of itself.
A phenomenal year-long build.
Yeah, so they're working a little bit. They grapple a little bit. You could tell Suzuki very clearly.
He laughs at him at anytime Rhett Titus tries to do a double leg takedown, and Suzuki no sells it. He just laughs at him.
They open the match with Rhett Titus fucking giving him a slap. So this fucking nigga just knocks him on his ass.
Yeah, he slaps.
He never slaps
the shit out of Suzuki, and then Suzuki slaps him even harder.
Yeah.
And so the match flows nicely. Rhett does get the drop kick in.
He does.
But Suzuki very firmly kicks out at 2.
He laughs at it. He kicks out and starts laughing.
What's your finisher so I can kick out of it?
And then we get pretty much what I call the Suzuki special. So Rhett hits the rope, Suzuki follows him in, drop step behind, rear naked choke, which leads into the Gotch pile driver and a 1-2-3. Suzuki's first ROH championship, being the ROH television title, and I feel sorry for anybody who's going to try and take that belt off him.
He's gonna hold that belt for however long he wants to. I tried to go for another drop kick, but that obviously didn't work. At the end of the match,
Ishii held that belt for a long time, and
yeah,
and
Suzuki still on that belt for at least a couple years until he retires.
After the match is over,
I don't know if Suzuki is going to retire in a couple years.
Suzuki holds the belt over his head like he's about to fucking slam it on his fucking head. The ref's like, no. And then Suzuki's like, yeah, you thought. And he just slings it over his shoulder.
He does the Roman Reigns thing with the belt.
Yeah.
It looks like he's about to whip him. It looks like he's about to start whipping him with the championship, but he just doesn't.
Then we go to, this is baffling, I'm saying this, the co-main event of the evening. For the ROH Pure Championship, Josh Woods and Wheeler Yuta.
As much as I love Yuta, I was like dead tired, and there's just no way I was gonna keep myself up for this match.
Yeah, like Wheeler Yuta he has so much character now. You know, he's like a jobber, but he's really good, but he always loses. And
Yeah,
Joshua
so
is like he's like the vanilla gorilla because he's like a white guy, but that's a shoe gimmick, I
yes.
think. He's white.
Um,
He's like really built, I guess, and he's strong.
Pure rules, very specific rules that we will not get into at the
Now
moment.
we're gonna get into him now. The
No,
gimmick
no.
is
If
you
they
have
want to know him, they
eliminated.
can look him up.
Nope, you have. This is just the gimmick. You have a limited amount of rope breaks that you could use when you're in a submission. That's it.
That's it.
Limited
Yeah.
amount of rope breaks, cannot use closed fist, and that's really about it. So, judges for the contest were BJ Whitmer, Cole Cabana, and Christopher Daniels.
Yep.
If somehow this match went 60 minutes, which it good and hell well it won't. Both guys grapple. You could tell that Yuta has a slight advantage, but it's not major.
Can I just
Over
say something
Woods.
real quick?
Hmm.
Why couldn't they have someone with character fight Wheeler Yuta like Hot Sauce Tracy Williams or like world famous CB or whoever the fuck fought Josh Woods in his last match?
Because the ROH bookers at that point saw something in Josh Woods that apparently no one else is seeing.
Hot Sauce Tracy Williams is so much better, and world famous CB and all the other people I just mentioned. Why not?
Hmm.
Why not them? God damn it!
Absolutely.
Should have been me.
But they both grapple, and I'm not gonna say that Woods isn't a good wrestler. He is a good wrestler. It's just there's a clear lack of character. It is as clear as day that there is a lack of character there. Especially compared to Yuda, who had the biggest character change of his career on Wednesday after wrestling Bryan Danielson. So it was very much a 180 in talent in the talent pool for this match, but it's a solid match. I mean, it's a solid grappling affair and whatever else it leads to. In the end, Wheeler Yuta using the Dragon's Tail, which is a pinning combination, like a crucifix pin, while hooking the leg.
Yeah.
Particular guy who used it was Drago and Lucha Underground, so in case you need reference. Solid match, but yeah, Wheeler Yuta becomes the ROH Pure Wrestling Champion, which I think is a great move for that belt if it's going to stick around.
Especially if they're gonna start carrying their ROH belts on like Dynamite tapings and stuff like that. That's
Absolutely
pretty cool. Which I heard they are gonna start doing. He might come out with the ROH belt the next show.
Well, hopefully this will be where Regal gives him the nod. Join the Blackpool the Blackpool Combat Club, but we'll see. Then we go to the main event of the evening. The most hyped up match of the evening, even though it probably should have been Briscoes and FTR in the main event. I'm not going to debate that one with Tony Khan. Jonathan Gresham versus Bandido for the undisputed ROH World Championship. Bandido with Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Sir, that's my
Damn right.
guy.
In the world of kayfabe, Bandido felt disrespected by ROH a final battle, claiming that Jonathan Gresham had won the ROH World title, which I actually don't fucking blame him.
And the gimmick is that Jonathan Gresham will not stop talking shit about Bandido. He talks shit about him nonstop, and how he's a B champ. And he's the A champ.
Yeah. The match is really good. It really is.
He hits on his wrestling style as well. He's like, oh, you can do all that flippy stuff, but, you know, I'm going to stay on the ground and win matches.
The styles do blend well.
Did he say that?
He said something like that during, like,
in the package.
Well, he's got it. Then he's a hypocrite then, because I could have swore I saw this dude doing flippy shit at Final Battle.
He has like a combination of. It's mostly technical though, more than flippy stuff.
I guess.
Yeah,
High flying stuff.
I think what Gresham is meaning though is that I think Gresham in the world of kayfabe is of the belief that this luchador just all he does is fly around and does
He
flips
said
and
he's
whatever.
a once in a lifetime like gimmick or something like that. It's like
Yeah,
he's like, oh, he's young and he can do all this flippy stuff, but he's not winning matches. He's a B champ.
even though he's the actual lineal ROH World Champion, is Bandido. But I like the story a little bit. You could see it at the start, a little story with Chavo and Bandido, which, in all honesty, they didn't do Bandido any favors in this match. I'll
No
talk
way.
about it a little bit more in depth later on, but you could see at the start there's a little bit of dissension with Chavo and Bandido. Chavo did not want Bandido to inherit to the Code of Honor at all. And
No
just
code
wanted
of honor.
Bandido to focus. Yeah, and just wanted Bandido to focus and worry about the task that was ahead of him. Code of Honor was inherited to eventually. Chavo was not happy on the floor with that. A good match. I think it's during the match a little later on. As the match is starting to pick up, Chavo does get involved out on the floor.
Bandido
Which
has a great showing of strength too. He holds Jonathan Gresham up for a suplex for like a minute and a half.
Bandido for a luchador is actually quite big and deceivingly strong for a luchador. So Bandido is not necessarily your average luchador. He's a different cut of beef for a luchador.
Okay.
But yeah, Chavo gets involved in a couple instances. The final instance being Jonathan Gresham about to do something, either off the ropes, springboarding off, or whatever, is about to hit the ropes. And Chavo just decks him with the ROH World title while Bandido has the referee distracted, so Bandido did not know what was going on. Chavo decks Gresham with the belt, and Bandido, because he saw it, and because apparently he's the biggest idiot in the company, he wanted Chavo ejected.
See, Bandido understands. This is pure ROH. This is, you gotta be
This is super card of honor,
honorable.
bro.
This is
You don't
exactly
cheat.
code of honor, brother. What you know about that?
The whole gimmick here is that the code of honor has gotten to his head. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, the whole idea of like being honorable and sticking to it no matter what has gotten into Bandido's head, and whereas Gresham, on the other hand, while he'll shake your hand, really doesn't necessarily care about the ethics as much as Bandido. Words here. Bandido doesn't take advantage at all of Gresham being nailed with the belt. Go for a couple more spots. They teased the top rope moonsault fallaway slam that Bandido did in Madison Square Garden, as well mentioned by Ian Riccaboni on commentary.
It's a crazy ass spot. If you haven't seen it, you should go see it.
They teased that. A couple false finishes. Bandido does hit the 21 plex on Gresham. Gresham kicks out. Gresham, I think, hit his finishing move on Bandido. Bandido was able to kick out. And in the end, Bandido just gets caught out of nowhere. Just gets completely caught. I believe he was rolled up, I want to say. Was Bandido, he's either rolled up or submitted, but Bandido just gets caught out of nowhere and by the technical wizard, so to speak, of Jonathan Gresham.
So much skill.
And Gresham becomes the undisputed ROH World Champion, but
I think
they really didn't do.
He got caught in like the octopus, which is his finisher. It's like the octopus, which is his submission finisher.
They did that. In my opinion, they really didn't do Bandido any favors here.
Nope. It turned him heel, but nope.
Well, I don't even think they turned him heel. Like I don't think they knew what they were gonna do with him.
They could have done
And-
like a Conan Prince Puma thing where it's like he has to use heel tactics even though he doesn't want to.
Yeah, well, that's what they could have done. And I mean, hopefully Bandito's sticking around in ROH. Because the fan base do love Bandido in ROH, so hopefully he's sticking around.
All
but
200 of them.
Yeah, all 200 of them. After the match, Gresham gets on the microphone and pretty much proclaims that nobody can beat him. And then Jay Lethal comes out and just is correct in pretty much everything he said.
He whoops his ass. Sanjay Dutt comes out, save Gresham.
And Lethal said that there wouldn't be a Jonathan Gresham without Jay Lethal, which that's a fair assumption, especially in ROH. Jay challenged Jonathan Gresham, and I don't know if this kind of confused me because I feel like if you're a babyface and you're Gresham, you're hyping up the fact that you are a fighting champion. Why is the answer to Jay's question? Oh, because of what you did an hour ago. No, I don't understand that.
I had to sit there and think. I don't know. But either way, Lethal's salty that he said no to his challenge and he doesn't get a title shot, so he just whoops his ass. Lee Moriarty comes out to save Gresham.
Tries to make the save.
He gets his ass whooped. And then Sanjay Dutt comes out to save Moriarty and Gresham. Psych. Sanjay Dutt and Lethal are in like some kind of tag team gimmick. And they just whoop on their asses for a minute.
Yeah, but then the biggest pop, clearly the biggest pop of the night for anybody, music hits. We hear a roar from the music, which, if anybody knows their ROH history, knows pretty well who this is that's coming. And Samoa Joe makes his return to Ring of Honor for the first time since 2015.
He got so much bigger. And that is awesome.
He got bigger. But Joe comes out, gets in the face of Jay Lethal. The commentary did a phenomenal job at reminding everyone that these two do have history in ROH. I thought that was excellent job by commentary.
Thank you, Bonnie, for saving this show.
Samoa Joe the graphic has been put up. He is all elite. / ROH-ified, I don't know.
He's all elite / honorable.
He's honorable.
Honorable, yes.
Now
Joe comes out.
They gotta start doing that.
Code of honor.
So Joe comes out, runs off Jay Lethal, but Jay, because he's the biggest asshole in the world now, apparently, pushes Sanjay Dutt into the coquina clutch. Joe handily chokes out Sanjay Dutt and then proceeds to shake hands with Jonathan Gresham.
Lee Moriarty, I guess, because he's out there.
Lee Moriarty was there. He was there.
But here's the thing. Lee Moriarty didn't really push Sanjay Dutt into the coquina clutch. He kind of ran past him. But why the fuck? Sanjay Dutt, he's been in this business for a minute. He's smart. Why the fuck would you turn your back on Samoa Joe knowing what the fuck his finisher is?
No, arrogance. Just sheer arrogance. And maybe he thought he was safe in a suit.
I know Samoa Joe, no way. I'm going to look at him in the eyes even when I'm getting out of the ring. I'll roll out of the ring. There's no way I'm turning my back.
Yeah, well, it's interesting now. I guess time to kind of round up the show. It was a good show.
It was decent.
It was possible. And
serviceable.
Tony Khan, he's got a bit of work to do.
And not turn it off immediately.
Exactly. You could turn it on and realize, okay, the first
Good
half of the
background
show is
noise.
dog shit, but at least there's FTR and the Briscoes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if there's any match to seek out FTR and the Briscoes, really.
FTR, not FTR, but ROH bookers, they suck, but at least Final Battle was really good. We had a lot to say. That pay-per-view was surprisingly very enjoyable. Tony Khan booked this, and there was just a lot of bleh. At least the shitty ROH bookers know how to book on their last leg. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
It seemed messy. The show almost seemed like a little messy. It didn't seem organized. And you could tell that because they were announcing matches like rapid fire over the last
They just leaked the
couple of
entire
days.
Dynamite card. They just said, "Oh, we're doing Christian Cage versus Adam Cole. We're also doing FTR Young Bucks too. We're also doing
I
this,
love
this, and
Yuda,
this."
but that match should not have been co-main event. It should have been like the Briscoes match or something.
Should have been Suzuki.
Yeah,
Really?
that too. That could have been the co-main.
Yeah, I mean, Suzuki and Titus could have been the co-main. Honestly, I would have just had the world title match be the co-main, and I would have just had the tag titles main event, because that was the match that people I think were most looking forward to.
True. Yeah.
That is
It's
pretty funny.
almost like
Let's
a
put
Mania
our
18
two
effect.
best matches in the middle of the card. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where ROH goes from here. I mean, Samoa Joe is back. And
Beginning
there's
of something new?
there's plenty of matches for Joe to have.
This could be finally the dawn of a new day for ROH. Maybe they might be from sluggish to actually a decent weekly show. Who knows? Well, and what were your favorite parts of the pay-per-view?
My favorite parts were when the Briscoes were doing crazy ass tag team finishes and when Suzuki beat the shit out of Bret Titus.
Rat Titus, but that's understandable. Fuck your year-long push, brother. I don't care how much the fans like you. Finna take this L. What's your finish, by the way? No way. As soon as I saw
drop
Suzuki,
kick? Oh, hell no.
as soon as he like kicked out at like 1 and then just started laughing.
Yes, they did.
Suzuki was
Yeah,
like, bro, I teach these kids to do that shit on the first day. That's your finish, bro? Ain't no way.
All right, well, I think it's time that we move on to NXT Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
Yep.
Show, what a show, what a show.
Anyways, that's been today's podcast. Hope you guys tune in next time.
Yeah, brother, we gotta break it down, bro. We gotta break it down.
Yeah.
All right.
We do.
First match.
I mean, do we talk about
Ladder
the pre-show match? No.
No.
One thing I do
blame
want to
him.
bring up about the pre-show is when these two
yeah.
fucking niggas were sitting at this table out in front of the fucking stadium.
Oh yes. So like the main like, if you've watched like a WWE pay-per-view now, there's like these two announcers that are like narrating the shit like
They got locked out.
show starts. like usually like the pay-per-view will start, but there's still like a 5-minute grace period, and they're like the people that are like, "Oh, what's your predictions, Booker T?" But they're just like, they just put a table out in front of the arena for WrestleMania and just said, "All right, just go talk."
It's for shoot just this fucking it's this massive glass table sitting like 100. No, that might be a fucking stretch, but like let's say like 50 yards in front of the front doors of this fucking arena. Is what?
It's just like a big picture of Roman and Brock on the fucking thing, and they just had a glass table on like fucking cement in the middle, right in the fucking thing. But I guess the only memorable match of the kickoff was like Wendy Chu, who's like knockoff Orange Cassidy. Her gimmick is that she loves napping.
Yeah, I just now learned about her because I tuned in and the first thing I see is like this grown ass woman dressed up in like PJs drinking like a fucking sippy bottle or
A
something.
onesie with a
It
fucking
drinks out of a like a
Slurpee cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she like hits Gigi Dolan with a pillow and then like throws hot coffee all in her face and it burns her, and that causes Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan, to lose their belts to notoriously racist Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. For
Yeah,
context,
so
she does not like black people.
Yeah, to put it lightly.
great psychology here by having the heels be the ones to get healed on and lose the belts to the baby faces. Great psychology there from the Fed.
And thank you. Big shout out to my guy Wade Barrett. But why are Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai just friends again? Didn't they just like
I don't
have
know.
like a why did they weren't they just hating each other? This has to be a fake friends gimmick because like they had like a heated rivalry not too long ago.
I couldn't give you a shoot answer and I've been watching programming.
Same. I couldn't even tell you.
That's a worry. But no, serviceable match, women's tag title match. Look, okay, not every WWE tag team match is the same, but 99% of them are. So, think about your average WWE tag team match you'd get on like a Raw or SmackDown. Give it probably about an extra 5 minutes, and that's what you get here.
That is true. Yeah, I guess this show. I mean, spoilers, but only 1/3 of Toxic Attraction reclaims their belts. But
Yes.
to jump in the first match straight away, NXT North American Championship ladder match, and it is obvious who's gonna win because they play a promo package for Beverly, aka Cameron Grimes, whose father passed away recently. It's in Power King. What was it? They play a promo package, and he dedicates this match to his father, and he's gonna get that belt and hold it around his waist for his father.
Now, so I just want to say, this happened 20, 25 years ago. He absolutely would have got dog stomped during this match. They would have brought up his dead dad like just for him to get fucking stomped.
This match happened 20 years ago. He's losing.
Yeah,
he's losing for sure. So they could have more sympathy. So they could do something. He would have
got dog walked the whole match in 2000, bro. I promise you.
This was Attitude Era. They would have like fucked his dad's like corpse in the ass and been like,
they would have had his They would have had his fucking casket on stage. He would have fucking went over and prayed to it, and they got powerbombed through it halfway through the match. I promise.
Fucking like if this was Attitude Era, Carmelo Hayes would have fucking like set like the graveyard on fire or some shit.
If it was 15 years ago, they would have said he's not up there, but I digress.
Yeah. Let me remember here. Everyone's gear was on point. Santos Escobar had the weirdest gear though, because he had like a Ultimate Warrior tribute gear, but also like a Macho Man. His Titantron was a LWO parody logo, so it was so damn confusing. It made no sense at all. But like to run down some spots, it was like Grayson Waller has like the perfect chance to just go up and get the ladder, but no, he does like a swanton to the outside to like make sure everybody is down, but fucks himself up. Three of the participants in this match all have like managers, like friends, I guess. Associates, so like they're all at ringside. So Carmelo Hayes was walking into this match champ as Trick Williams. Grayson Waller has some guy looks like Veer.
Oh yeah, Veer's brother, Beer Mahan.
Not actually Veer's brother. Veer.
What are you talking about?
No, his real
brother, dude.
No, Veer. For real, Veer's brother is actually in like a group with Gender, and he was on like SmackDown recently or something. And then Santos Escobar has like his fucking hood rat family.
Okay.
Some more spots. They chant Uso at Solo Sikoa no matter what the fuck he does, even though he's so obvious he's trying to distance himself and be his own like fucking character before he gets to main roster, so he could finally be called Joey Uso.
Yeah.
Not Diamond Mine. Fuck. Trick Williams. He helps Carmelo Hayes a lot out here. He like knocks over the ladder a lot. He helps Carmelo Hayes do a lot of like handiwork. There's like a part where like all the managers like start fighting each other and shit. Um, Santos Escobar, Hurricane Rana's Grayson Waller off a ladder. Um, Cameron Grimes is like so obvious he's gonna win because he's like barely in the match. He does anytime he does shit, it's always his finish. Like
Yeah.
he like does the stomps to Carmelo on the apron while the ladders are also on the apron. But then they do the Money in the Bank spot.
I hated
they're
that,
all,
dude.
and it looked like shit. It looked like absolute dog shit.
Terrible.
It was terrible. It was like it's not as good when they did it the first time. When they like originally did the Money in the Bank spot, and it wasn't as good at AEW.
One
when
of the
they did
ladders
it
was
out of-
like too far and at like an angle away from the others, so like
Yeah,
somebody
Santos
was trying to
Escobar
like
was
lean
late.
over to it and he just could barely reach
Yeah,
it.
Santos Escobar was trying to get it up there, but they were already about to be done with the fucking Money in the Bank spot where they're all on the ladder. So he's like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna lean over there. I
Yeah.
can't get it in time." And like they all fall off the ladders. Trick Williams pushes the ladders over. He starts climbing up the ladder, but the gimmick is that Trick Williams has fucking as he has like a fear of heights, so he can't win the fucking match for Carmelo. So he gets pushed off of the ladder by Trevor Lee, who, aka Cameron Grimes, but I'm just gonna call him Trevor Lee. So
Okay.
whatever. And he falls like from the ring, from the top of the big ladder that they had on the ramp to the outside. Then they start fighting to the outside, and he hits the stomps on Carmelo Hayes onto the apron, and then Carmelo Hayes he's on the bridge, on the ladder bridge, and Grayson Waller, with help from random nigga, climbs on top of the ladder to do this is his mania moment, and instead of doing a Jeff Hardy thing, he goes for an elbow drop, and it looks like shit. He
This
fucking
was
eats it.
I didn't know what the fuck he was going for, but he sure as hell didn't hit it.
He was going for an elbow drop. He did, like, I think he did, like, a fucking MVP ballin' taunt before he did it. And he did shit. I could be wrong, but I think he did
I think
ballin'.
so,
You know, he
too.
did the fucking free throw gimmick.
And then he fucking jumps off and fucking slams his arm into the fucking ladder bridge.
Like, first, his arm gets trapped, and then you hear the sound of his head bounce off the side of the ladder, and it's snapping in half.
It's crazy because like this clearly did not go to plan. This dude hits his arm, only his arm on this ladder. The rest of his body immediately hits the ground. His arm is the only thing that touches the ladder somehow.
I don't know if he was convulsing for real, or if he was just overselling. But I don't know, because it was like kind of bad.
It had to unironically hurt. That wasn't like he was either half selling or not selling. That was either completely real or half real.
Yeah, the ladder didn't even break in half. It just bent.
It just bent. He fucking...
Like, if I could describe it, it like slingshotted, if it makes sense. It bent, and then he hit the ground, and then it flinged back up to hit him in the head.
Yeah.
Of.
It was
then,
a nasty spot,
yeah.
at least.
Simply, if I could describe it, goddamn, Trevor Lee just goes up there and gets the briefcase. That's
Basically.
pretty much it.
Yeah, he gets that briefcase. I hear you.
And he cries, you know, he dedicates it to his father and whatnot. And, you know, I don't know why. The crowd is, like, super hot for this guy. Like, extremely. But, then we got Tony D'Angelo versus Tommaso Ciampa. And started this match, Tony D'Angelo he's rolled up. He's got he rolls up in a fancy car with his boy AJ. He doesn't even wrestle. He's just like a fat guy who he's friends with, pretty much. That helps him occasionally.
That's the best kind of manager, honestly.
And he rolls up in a car with his friend Tony D'Angelo, and they're like, "Oh, we're like, they're bumping the music, but they're not playing it, so it's just like they're just bobbing their heads to nothing." They get out of the car and they make their entrance and stuff, and then there's like, "Where's my pizza?" There's like "Where's my pizza?" chants because they're Italian. There's like, "Where's
Gotta
my
be racist.
Yeah, it's like that was one of the chants. It was like, "Where's my pizza?" Was like the chant of the night.
NXT crowds
D'Angelo's
are like the
very
most
good.
toxic.
Oh, NXT
D'Angelo.
crowds have gotten so much worse because they used to be like the best crowds ever for
Yeah.
like matches. They were hyped for everything, and now they're just corny and they suck.
Well, I mean, fans change with the product, don't they?
They sure do, and this is an example. And then before that, Tommaso cuts like a cool promo, and then his entrance is like people
Ass.
walking into the it's ass. It's like people walking into the garage where like Tommaso always cuts his
Very
promo.
weird.
Or, like the metal screen door, and they're like showing all his matches, like War Games, him versus Gargano, him versus like Adam Cole, Alistair, him winning the belt, him coming out with like no entrance music and shit, and just to like him coming out to like Raw, just booze.
Yeah.
And then instead of having a cool ass like, send away that Johnny Gargano had, where like he had all his gears combined into one and came out to his old theme song. Yeah, he had shitty gear, shitty Titantron, shitty entrance music. He didn't come out to No One Will Survive. He came out to his shitty new theme, bro. He literally,
man.
this is the exact opposite of Johnny Gargano's last match.
The
This is when you
Titantron.
know the whole. This is when you know the whole thing with CFO dollar signs about not wanting to give them royalties is intense. When they won't even play Ciampa's music,
Dude, the
that
fucking
they kept playing for like a
If you
year
wanna hear
after
about
that.
a good, if you want to hear about a good fucking like goodbye like retirement match for someone about NXT, go listen to the one where he did War Games. Listen to the War Games pod because this shit, he was having a tough time.
dude, the Titantron.
Yeah.
The best way I can explain it is they are 2D sprites of like helmets in front of a For Honor character just slicing a
Like
sword.
swinging the axe, and it's like his arm is like bent. It was like break. It was like like it's like that weird video game arm where it's like their wrist is in lock, but their arm is like floppy.
It looks like you're choosing a character on like a modded Mortal Kombat.
Yes. They've got him main roster
He
already. What can I say?
does not come out and like unlike Johnny Gargano, he does not come out in his iconic look at all.
Yeah.
He doesn't come out in camouflage pants, no knee brace. His beard doesn't even have the big gray streak in the middle.
He's just a dude.
This match was meh. It really was.
It was a good
I think
match.
at the beginning, Tommaso is already ready to do the Tommaso shit, and he's trying to like peel the ring, the mat.
Oh,
They're trying to
Jesus.
peel that up.
Yeah,
It
the
will
match
not
was
stay
meh.
up, bro. It keeps flopping.
It kept falling back down to the place. He tried this shit like 3 times.
I felt bad for him. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have another match on the mat, for fuck's sake, dude.
And he's gonna have a match just as bad on Raw. I can't wait.
Oh, jeez. But I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I just think the main problem this match had was the pacing and the actual pacing of the spots and what they were doing in the ring. Because really, if this match had gone on maybe a touch longer, then this pacing would have been fine. What they did would have been fine. But because it was only about, 8 minutes? Like, not even that. Like,
Yeah.
7 minutes.
It felt like it
roughly.
ended very abruptly, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
what I
was just
said in
like-
the call with everyone when we watched it. The finish just seemed
It was a very bad looking DDT on the cement. Then he rolled him in the ring and he simply just did like a rock stomp and then won.
Yeah. Like, and I know people bringing up like, oh, it's Ciampa's gimmick. Of course he's gonna sell it, but like, I'm just so used to wrestling where if you do a move on the outside onto like the concrete, it never ends the match. Like, you always got to roll the person in the ring, and it's like by time then they've already woke up again, so they'd kick out. So it just kind of seemed weird to me.
Ciampa and Gargano, they do that. It's just like, oh, I mean, like Ciampa, like Gargano hit like a brainbuster on the floor and just simply rolled Ricochet back in and pinned him one time.
It's also
yeah.
I think it's also too though is that the way the match was flowing, it didn't seem natural for that to be the finish.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we forgot. Fucking Tommaso does like the Triple H mist on the apron and the Shawn Michaels taunt because those two run just all that so we could lose because those two are like the head, aficionados of NXT, or at least they were until Vince took complete creative control from it.
Yeah.
But match ends. Sanjay wins. Tommaso gets his ass right back up. They fuck up the production, and he's at the ramp. And guess who comes out? Behold, the King of Kings.
Also, when he was walking up the ramp, he was not selling it at all.
Did not care. He like,
got dropped on his head.
Angelo left the ring and was at least at the ramp. He got immediately back up.
He got dropped on his head on the concrete and then walked out like whatever.
I personally don't think Ciampa was really happy with this, and nor would I blame him. I mean, for a takeover farewell, this was not it.
Oh, no way.
You knew that. I mean,
Triple H came out and he had a shitty, weird Tron because his stage is fucked up.
It had like how like back in the day you'd have the normal Titrons where it just showed like the wrestler doing moves and all that weird shit. It was like a green background with 4 mini player videos of Triple H's normal Tron just scattered around. It was so weird.
Triple H and Tommaso were crying, and Triple H especially was crying because I guarantee you, I think like the later half of his life just got ruined because of Vince McMahon and his heart condition.
Well, really, like that was one of the last remnants of the original NXT. There's very few guys that are left that are from the original NXT. I mean, he's got LA Knight, he's got Santos, Escobar, he's got Cameron, and those guys. But I think, I don't know. I don't think this is how Hunter wanted NXT to be.
Yeah.
Clearly.
He was.
I don't think. This is clearly.
That's crazy. His child, his creation just got snatched away from him, and it crumbled before his eyes.
Yeah.
Even funnier is that he won't be able to run the WWE once Vince is dead. Fucking Disney executives will be running it soon enough.
Oh, yeah.
Triple H, he was the game, and now he's nothing but Bret Hart now, bitter and depressed.
That sounds about right.
To be fair, I think this is good karma for fucking ruining Booker T's WWE career.
That is true. I mean, yes, he does kind of deserve to be miserable for the rest of his life, I guess. Oh, on to the next match, y'all. The NXT Tag Team Triple Threat match. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
MSK,
Black and white.
Imperium, and the real winners who should have won this match, in my opinion, the Diamond Mine. The Diamond Mine, they had all the momentum in this match. They came out first. They had all the theatrics for their entrance. Malcolm Bivens, who was their prestigious, manager, the manager of Diamond Mine, came out. He cosplayed as Cameron. You don't know who that is. He's a rapper. Came out in like a pink suit with like a pink like fur coat and like a pink do-rag and pink glasses. He came out with his with the female member of
Ivy
Mine,
Nile?
Ivy Nile, and then Julius and Brutus Creed, the Creed brothers of Diamond Mine, came out in all white gear, all white tracksuits. Crowd went crazy. Don't know
They
how
look
these
good.
niggas did. They looked great, and they did great. And then here comes
Yeah.
yeah. You gotta say something.
There was a couple spots that were a little bit shaky with the Creed brothers, but again, that it comes down to experience, and this is what happens when you get these guys who didn't come from the indies, who don't have a lot of experience, and they're almost kind of learning on the job.
We're gonna talk about that later. Don't worry about
Yes.
it. When we're done with that, we're gonna start a dialogue about that. Best believe. Anyways, MSK have a special entrance, which is why I should have known that's why they would win. Anyways,
Ben Shapiro said that.
Yeah.
We did not.
so yeah, they had a special entrance. They were like, oh, like it was like fucking like they had laser lights and shit, and they had cool gear. Everyone is just why does everyone have to be such a mark for the new NXT logo? I don't know why everyone in this company loves the new watercolor design, but like every time someone comes out and it like every time someone's on pay-per-view, they have to wear like the NXT 2.0 colors
Yeah.
for some reason. It makes no sense to me. I don't know why.
MSK, I think, when Vince was doing 2.0, he's coming up with this grand idea of NXT 2.0. I've got a feeling he's looked at MSK's gear, looked at the color palette, and just went, that's it. That'll do.
Yeah, MSK Black and MSK White don't know their actual names. They were hated in NXT for a while. Because,
Nash Carter and Wesley, for clarification.
they were hated in NXT for a long time because of
2
some
years.
bullshit.
Racial
thereabouts.
profiling.
They've had a hard time.
They had a hard time. They booed these people for almost like 2 years straight. Passionate hatred.
At
Now,
least a year.
thank God to Matt Riddle because the boos have finally stopped. Except during like the first 10 minutes of this match, there's like not 10, but like 5 minutes of this match, there's like someone in the front row booing loudly, and you could obviously hear it.
Yeah.
Camera couldn't cut away from that one.
No
Kevin
way.
Dunn couldn't pull the magic tricks.
Imperium has new theme songs, even though the theme they were using before was like royalty free.
Fine. Literally, like, they could use that music on YouTube, and they'd be fine. But that's okay.
Whatever. They have cool gear. They have like stripes and stuff. This match was pretty good.
It was. It was. It was good for what it was. I mean, I
Felt
don't think there
short.
was a. I don't think there was an instant chemistry amongst these teams.
It was obvious they gained chemistry over time.
Yes.
More the match went on.
Especially, I think though the glaring issues that I brought up earlier when it came to the Creed brothers, I think came when MSK were in the ring with them. 'Cause I don't think the Creed brothers, as of yet, have had the chance to work with a team who are as fast and as somewhat dynamic as MSK are from a working standpoint. So, from a working standpoint, that does become a lot more difficult to do that and to be able to, like I said earlier, learn on the job and figure out how they should properly work these guys. So, but they gave a hell of an effort. They did a great job. All three of these teams.
I thought the final minutes of this match were good. It looked like Diamond Mine. It was like, oh, I thought that they were gonna win. It was just like, oh wow, these guys are finally they're finally gonna win the championships, and then
They made it look like it.
really did. Then Imperium hit their tag finish to, I think, Brutus on the outside
On the floor.
onto the
Yeah,
floor.
the European bomb.
It looks like Ivy Nile might do the gimmick where she wraps the chain around her fist and does the Superman punch, but she never did it. It
No.
looked like they were going to interfere, but they didn't, unfortunately.
I mean, this is where kind of the ladder match hurt them because they couldn't necessarily have the managers get involved because the ladder match, the ladder match, the managers were practically the participants.
Yeah. Yeah,
At
Veer
that
Mahan was going
point,
crazy in that ladder match.
Okay.
Yes.
What?
That's racist, but go crazy.
That's what he says. It's his brother.
That's not his actual brother.
That's my brother right there.
I'll tell you what, though, if they ever put those two together, that you know good and hell well, they will kayfabe them as brothers.
You damn right. They should, honestly.
There's part of me which kind of thinks that could work. But anyway, that aside, pictures aside, yeah, it was a good NXT tag team title match. It served its
Oh yeah, the
purpose.
towel was thrown during the match.
Yeah,
and
they
that
threw in the
distracted-
towel.
And that distracted
well,
him.
yeah,
And I'm in mine. The Creed brothers got the upper hand by the towel being thrown, at least.
Yes, at least that was the case. But MSK leave, as Mo alluded to earlier, as your new NXT tag team champions, I believe. for
They
the
really
second
love
time.
just doing hot potato with Imperium and MSK with these belts. They really make sure that no other tag team wins these belts.
Yeah, they really do make sure of that. I think the Creed brothers will win those belts eventually. I think it's a given at this point that yes, they will win the belt.
And apparently, a tag team from NXT UK is coming from there to NXT 2.0 to rival with the Creed brothers because they're going to be, we're going to be the real people that attacked you before your big pay-per-view match. And it's like, okay, bro, you're telling me it's
Before
not
the match at Halloween Havoc.
Why the fuck should I care?
Well, and I think that's the problem is that okay, we're going to bring in a team from NXT UK to be the end game for this angle. But NXT UK isn't. It's simply just not watched enough
Yeah.
for people to get.
No one cares.
I mean,
The notable guy
it's not
there is like,
Nitro. It's not like Nitro
big.
back in the day, or Raw back in the day, or sorry, not like WCW or WWF back in the day, where people would watch everything, so they knew what was going on. It's not like that anymore. It's just not. I
It's
think
just
that's
not.
what WWE seem to forget, especially with NXT.
Yeah.
It does hurt their talent a fair bit.
next match, there's not much to talk about, really. We should probably get through this quick. It was Cora Jade. It was a fatal 4-way NXT Women's Championship match. Io Shirai, Cora Jade, Kaylee Ray, and Mandy Rose. She's still working the the supermodel gimmick.
I wouldn't even say it's a supermodel gimmick. It's just that I am a sexy person gimmick.
I'm sexy, and I got people from magazines taking pictures of me all around my house and shit. Pretty much, that was in the entrance package.
Yes.
They all had some kind of motivation. Cora Jade had a motivation. She was like, I've been a WWE fan for a while. My favorite wrestler was Paige and AJ Lee. I used to send letters to him. I used to write fan letters. They're like,
That's
okay.
when you know that they're getting young people for this show. That's when you know. When they're saying I am a mark for Paige and AJ Lee, who were not long around ago,
Yeah.
or who weren't around that long ago, that's where you kind of just go, oh boy.
I'm a big mark. I grew up watching Paul Burchill matches.
Yeah, well, it's like you got people our age who are like, yeah, we'll be
I love
Undertaker
the
mark.
brothers growing up. I was such a big fan
I
of
was using a
Jazz.
Heidenreich, bro.
I didn't
Heidenreich.
write. I loved the chocolate.
I wanted to be
loved the
Heidenreich's
chocolate bar,
friend.
bro. I was a big fan of the chocolate bar, dude. I loved that growing up.
Yeah, but he was the Hershey's chocolate kiss. It was great.
That was a big
I
shit.
loved Mae Young giving birth to the hand. I loved her stanky pussy as a kid.
But
Io Shirai, her
Yeah.
gimmick is that she just wants to win. She should have won, really.
I think she was the only one really in the match who
Kaylee
really
Ray,
looked like they wanted to win.
yeah, Kaylee Ray was just like, all right, you guys have been Toxic Attraction keeps bullying me, so I guess I got to be in this match.
They keep fucking with me, so I'm just gonna keep fucking with them.
Yeah, pretty
Until-
much.
Something happens.
And Mandy Rose like, oh, I'm beautiful and I'm a supermodel, so shut up. I'm gonna win. And
that she did.
cool. Io Shirai's entrance was good. Cora Jade had like skater people come out and skate with her down in the ring. Because, guys, she wears like checkered print, gear because she likes Vans, guys. She skates. She loves Thrasher magazines, guys. You get it? She's a skater. That's her gimmick. She's like Darby Allin, but more,
She's Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, like Tony Hawk female version.
Yes. She's
Kaylee
Avril
Ray-
Lavigne.
Ass. Io Shirai's entrance was probably the best. Kaylee Ray, that stupid fucking baseball bat. She just sucks. I don't like her in NXT.
Maybe I'm just stretching.
I think it's just the gimmick that she's been given, which I don't know what it is.
It's that she's Scottish and she will fuck you up with a baseball bat. Yeah.
This might be a bit of a stretch, but I remember earlier I had noted down something like, this is like the second, the skateboarding one is like the second fucking Cena Mania entrance they stole. Cause like,
She has the people, yeah.
cause that's basically like her chain gang, I guess, in a way. And then there was Tony D'Angelo who came out with like the whip. The only difference is that he didn't take it out to like next to the stage. He just got out early.
They all like raise up their skateboards and triumph. Yeah.
That would have been hard.
They did.
It would have been hard
shit,
if the camera shot was right.
I must have missed that.
It's like they didn't they only put a spotlight on Cora Jade, but you could see their silhouettes. They were like all simultaneously raised their skateboards up and started cheering.
So yeah, it's the fucking chain gang entrance that Cena did. Like they took two of Cena's entrances and just fucking used them here for some reason.
Well, Tony D'Angelo entrance was like Cena and like Eddie Guerrero a little bit, kind of.
A little bit, yeah.
But this match was all right. No, they were really like, oh, Cora Jade, she might win, but then she didn't. And then the finish was that Io Shirai hit the moonsault, and then out of nowhere, fucking Mandy Rose finally hits that fucking knee strike good. Beat the Mandy Rose trigger.
Okay, how long?
Good.
Took her, what, about 3 years, thereabouts?
3 years, she finally figured out how to wrestle. It's crazy.
I think this run for Mandy in NXT, though, has been phenomenal. Mandy has really found herself.
Good.
Yeah, I think Mandy's really found herself. Found the character that works for her, and
she even changed the belt. The belt looks cool now. It's like rainbow with like white strap. Rainbow jewels with like a white strap, pretty much. Like
absolutely. With this win for Mandy Rose now, the only thing I'm kind of worried about is, okay, who is left in the women's division who is getting built up or has been built up to take this belt off of Mandy? Because Mandy's had this belt for a while. She's had it since October of last year. So, I mean, I know Nikita Lyons has been thrown about a fair bit.
She had a promo package halfway through. But like,
she did.
In between the next match and this, at the end of this match, she had like a little promo package that was like, oh, I'm Nikita Lyons, and I'm the new person in town. Look at me.
She said, I'm new, I can do the splits, and I'm crap at rapping.
That's pretty much it. Now on to the next match. It was Dwayne the White Rock Johnson versus
I
LA
didn't
Knight
s-
versus Gunther.
I didn't see
I
much of
really
this
enjoyed
match.
this match, honestly. I did enjoy this match. I wish it had more time. I think this one kind of suffers from a bit of a time lack.
I didn't really care for this match. I was just waiting for it to be done. Well,
Yeah.
Gunther really slimmed down for this one.
Oh yeah, Gunther's been slimming down for probably the last 2 years. Thereabouts, he's been slimming down. I think if you go back and watch the first match of Ilya, you can even see that he was even slimming down at that point.
Yeah, abs now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a solid match. I mean, I'm not saying these two styles went perfectly, but they blended well enough here that the crowd was engaged. And the crowd was into this. They were into everything LA Knight did. Everything LA Knight did, the crowd was all for it.
Hey,
Which
I just want to say right now we're closing on the 90-minute time limit, so just saying.
Yeah, I wanted to wrap this up real quick.
Yeah.
No worries, just wanted to mention it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, let's just wrap this up.
It's okay. Vince McMahon will come out like Bob Backlund in the Hall of Fame.
Let's wrap this up real quick, So this match was pretty good. I liked it. Anything you wanted to say before we went on to the next?
No, it's main event time.
In event time. Gunther won, right? Pretty sure, right? Gunther won?
Yes, Gunther goes over with a powerbomb.
Goes over. Next is Braun Breaker versus Dolph Ziggler, accompanied by Robert Roode. And Dolph Ziggler, he's just been doing pretty good. He's on a roll. He brought back he brought back the booty shorts. He twerked at the stage.
Ziggler gets to be the big fish in a small pond.
Yes.
Which
Braun
I think
Breaker
really works well for him.
Yeah, Braun Breaker. He does another NXT pay-per-view entrance where he dismantles the NXT logo.
Yeah, he says fuck NXT and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, he has like a silly Nickelodeon chainsaw that he uses to cut the silly Nickelodeon logo in half.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm surprised that it didn't have spurts of paint coming out of the fucking
It's
chainsaw.
flirted like green and orange paint.
Yeah, that wouldn't have surprised me if they managed to pull that, but
This match is pretty good and
serviceable.
Great. It was a serviceable match. Robert Roode distracted the ref, distracted Braun Breaker. Dolph hits zigzag, and he retained his belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is probably the most shocking result of the night.
Yep.
No,
I
they're
don't
still
think
outside. They're doing the thing.
It's awesome.
I don't think anybody thought that Ziggler would be retaining this belt tonight.
Hold up, I'll be right back.
And he did, and I tell you what, I'm going to assume that maybe Braun Breaker claims this belt in the future.
Hopefully.
I don't know. Maybe Braun Breaker's going straight up to the main roster. Maybe he's wrestling Seth later today. Who knows? It could be anything, but I like Dolph Ziggler as NXT champion. I think this little experiment's working.
My mom got me a cookie.
That's awesome.
Yes. But no, I think this little experiment with Dolph being the NXT champion, I think is working, and with Dolph being on Raw as well, it's more exposure for the NXT brand. So,
Yeah.
and overall, I mean, Takeover, Stand and Deliver. I'm so used to saying Takeover. Stand and Deliver was overall a same as Supercard of Honor, a passable show.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a stronger show, top to bottom.
Yeah. I mean, NXT. This is now that Tommaso Ciampa's gone, this is a turning point, really.
It's a new era.
When Triple H came out of that, NXT will now be a Goldberg factory, because now they were just gonna. If you don't know the news, what they're doing, they're not getting indie talent on NXT anymore. They will take college athletes from college and they will hire them to be wrestlers on NXT and hopefully the main roster.
Yeah, basically.
And I tell you what, if you've also been reading the news, apparently, according to Randy Orton, and this will be a nice way to leave off this podcast, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Randy Orton is extremely disappointed.
Yes. Randy is gone. I've been wrestling his indie darlings for the last 5 years, and it's actually good. And I'm actually having fun.
Who knows? Maybe Randy could go to the Indies and take his anger out on some fucking 20-year-old shithead.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
Speaking of don't know what the fuck we're doing, WrestleMania is, an hour away? Less than an hour away at this point.
I told you, the guys, they're sitting out in front of the building again. I see Booker T right now.
They're sitting in front of the building. They're locked outside.
They're locked out, and they don't have tickets. They didn't get
man, I can't even get in the building.
They don't have tickets, so...
Do y'all got anything else to say?
I got nothing, man. All I got to say is, shit, we're running out of time.
We're gonna...
We
got nothing, and we're gonna go watch WrestleMania.
Like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned.
Let me show you how your pussy works.